All right. HomeGauge, The Gauge, episode 12.
Episode episode 12.
Boom. There we go.
It's
All
Um,
official.
all right. I am just checking my things on my end, but Carly, you can go ahead and get started with the intro here.
right. So welcome to the Gauge episode 12. And we have a special guest that we promised. So the person who is the special guest is Caitlin.
Hey.
Hey. So please extend a warm welcome to Caitlin, who is the manager of product and operations from our world famous product team. We are so happy to have you. Caitlin has been like dying to join an episode, and we moved her to the front of the line of the wait list for people.
I imagine everyone's begging you to join an episode, so I
Right?
appreciate you bumping me ahead of all of them.
Of course, we are delighted to have you. So we'll hear more from Caitlin in a bit, and I picked out the icebreaker question for today. So we're going to start off with this just to get everyone all warmed up. So what completely harmless animal are you inexplicably afraid of?
Hold on one second. We're
Oh,
having technical difficulties.
oh no.
Yep. Hold on one second here.
Do I have to do all that again?
No, no. I gotta try this again here. Hold on real quick here.
I feel like technical difficulties is a harmless animal.
Oh.
That's one that gets me every time, especially on demo day.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're live on. I know we're live on one of the 5 platforms that we're trying to do.
So we're not on YouTube. Are we on Facebook? Facebook.
I think we're on Facebook. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe the others could sense how not cool I am, and they're like, no, you can only be on one platform live.
Oh my God. And no, and it looks like we're not on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're just gonna
That's the problem. I think that's the problem that we're having is just Instagram is being that's fine.
Okay. It could also be that we are staging this technical difficulty so that you guys can see how smoothly we react in the face of danger.
In the face of danger.
I mean, they put Carla and I in an emergency row on a plane because they knew
They did.
those two could handle
They did.
emergencies.
On the way to our last conference, we were in fact entrusted with people's lives in an emergency row, and we had so much leg room. It was really remarkable.
Yeah. It lasted like a full 30 minutes, which was amazing.
It was amazing. So are we good to continue talking, Dan?
We are live on okay, so we're live on Facebook. We're just not live on the other ones, looks like. So that's fine. I'm still gonna have this entire recording and for the clips to be able to post on the other ones. So we can go ahead and get started. We're just not live on Instagram. So
Okay. YouTube is now live apparently.
okay.
So,
Perfect.
There we go.
okay, so maybe like one by one, it's testing us. Maybe
Yeah.
we are testing us for the benefit of our viewers to show you how to respond under pressure and how delightful you can be. All right. So do you want me to ask my question? Can I ask my question
Yeah,
again?
go ahead. Yep.
All right. So today's icebreaker question is, what completely harmless animal are you inexplicably afraid of?
What harmless animal?
Yes. Can I go first?
Yeah, what's yours?
I have an answer. Okay. Cave crickets, otherwise known as camel crickets. Yes.
What?
They're those big lumpy crickets that have like these super long legs and they're in basements. You guys not know about field crickets?
I mean, I think I know them without that name. Where did the camel part come from?
Well, they're
Yeah.
officially called camel crickets, but a lot of people call them cave crickets. I don't know if that's like a southern thing, but we have a partial basement in our house, and that is where they're completely harmless, and they are so creepy though. They have these giant bodies and these crazy legs, and we don't kill any bugs. We just put them outside. So when we put a like thing over it, they jump and then they hit that thing, and it's terrifying. Like I'm
What?
afraid that they are going to. Well, I don't know. They're absolutely harmless and
And
they're
and
very
they're
scary.
called camel crickets?
Cave crickets is what
Cave
I call
crickets.
them. But then when I Googled it, it said that they were officially called camel crickets, but lots of people call them cave crickets. And anyway, that is my
Huh.
completely harmless yet terrifying alien insect that I would be fine never seeing again in my home.
I was trying to decide like how harmless, because I mean, I found out recently that box turtles are scary to me. Well, not no snapping turtles, but they're
Oh,
not harmless.
no,
They can't. I mean, it's not like they're going to sneak up on you.
they're
But we
not.
were trying to move one
Right.
off out of the
Like a
middle of the
slow
road.
creep.
Yeah, and I found in the back of the car had a bunch of stuff to take to Goodwill. So I got out my mother-in-law's house slippers that we were donating on her behalf, put them on my hands, and then tried to pick this thing up. One movement from that thing, and I ran half a mile. I could not handle it. It was just like, nope, it's gonna get me. I know it. So that one's now. I'm putting it on my list.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. But at least it's not like gonna like track you down and like hunt you or anything.
Do
You
we
know,
know
like
that yet, Dan?
We
Do
don't
we
know
know it?
that, Dan.
well
Like,
like
unless
cuz
you know something that we don't.
freshwater was it freshwater crocodiles will like literally hunt you down for like 3 days.
What?
Yeah, they'll like track your movements and
Are you making this up for
no, I'm no, no. They talk about this like in like Australia or something. A lot of the when I was living in New Zealand, they would talk about it. Like they will literally track your movements for like 3 days and like come and hunt you down. So I don't see a snapping turtle coming to hunt me down or anything. So, but
I feel like that snapping turtle just got challenged. It's like, fine, I will. It's going to take me 3 days to move that half mile that you ran, but I
right?
got this.
I don't know if I have any harmless animals that I'm really afraid of. Um, when I was little, I used to say that I was really deathly afraid of lions, even though I had never really even seen a lion.
I would say that
And
lions
lions don't really exist in Iowa, so
no, and they're also like
but for whatever reason, I was really afraid of them.
dangerous.
But
Was
I
there a
don't know.
Leo in your life that did you wrong at some point? And you're like, can't trust him. Can't
Yeah,
trust those lions.
yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Okay, what about I have a few. So how about I fill in like what about millipedes or centipedes? Any of the peds?
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
I mean, I don't like anything when it gets like close to an ear and I can sense it, right? Like any flying insect that likes to go back and forth.
Uh-huh.
I had a one of our honeybees in my hood when I was out there
Oh
the other day.
no.
Like
God.
that one, I'm not scared of the bees until that's inside a trapped
Well,
space
right.
with me.
Because it's
I mean, anything inside my ear, I'm gonna be pretty
or
afraid
close to
of.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. I understand that. Okay. Well, I guess I'm the one. Also, okay, raccoons are not harmless, but I am also afraid of raccoons because I was chased by one that was rabid and he was running on his hind legs and chasing me down the road.
Oh,
And
like he was standing up and
standing
chasing
up
you?
and like chasing me down the road. I was in my car and he was chasing me down the road
Oh,
with a friend of mine, and
yeah,
it
that's not
was
cool.
it was really, really, really scary. So anyway, we should probably move on because that
I,
icebreaker could like go into an entire episode, and I'm sure
yeah.
people didn't tune in to hear about my weird animal encounters.
Are you
Um,
sure they didn't? I think we can have a follow-up video of just a rabid raccoon chasing Carla.
Yeah,
oh my
I can make that happen. I can
god,
make
no,
that video happen.
no,
I
it's
thought we knew a
really
guy.
it's really scary. Um, all right. So let's move on to our next little section, which is HomeGauge news and events. And we extended our awesome sale for the popular essential website plus 6 months of SEO for only
Boom.
$1,522. Dan, it covers your face. But look at
There
that
he
neat
is.
little
Oh
fancy
my
effect.
goodness.
You just
That's
scan
so
that
cool.
code. I already tested it to make sure it works. Scan that
Awesome.
code right there, and it will direct you directly to that
So
sale
direct
page.
you directly.
It'll
Yeah.
direct
And
you
I'm very
directly.
happy to say, as like someone that I know you guys deal with all the customers that come through with this all the time, but I've been hearing really great things from inspectors of like what you're producing on that with the essential website. So I love that
Aw.
package.
Well, great. We love
Awesome.
to hear
Yeah,
that.
that's
I'm
awesome.
not
Thank
just
you.
saying that because I'm in
Yeah.
a web sandwich right now. It's because I actually have heard a lot of good things about it.
We purposefully put Caitlin in the middle so that we could squish her to do things that we want done.
That's it's a good representation of what product is like right here,
Right.
just squished in the middle.
Oh my gosh. Which brings us to, before we go further into this episode, why don't you tell the viewers here, Caitlin, what it is that you do at
All right.
HomeGauge? Tell us a little bit about yourself. You don't have to start from like birth through now, but a little bit about yourself and what you do at HomeGauge.
I was going to say I was born on a Tuesday by a Dr. Michael Jackson, but I'll skip ahead several years. I love whenever I hear Dan mention Iowa because I came from the Midwest, out of Kansas to North Carolina. So it's always fun, especially when I get to interact with inspectors that, maybe from a state like Nebraska and those terrible few, and I will call them out later. But yeah, I came to North Carolina to enjoy the mountains and outside adventure and stumbled my way into HomeGauge. I'm very happy I did so because, I mean, if you told me I would be involved in home inspection software, I would probably not believe it at first, but in a lot of ways it makes sense. I did some, like, not specifically for this reason, but I did like commercial roofing out of high school, my summer job. So it makes me giggle now when I get back up on a roof, especially with an inspector. It's like, yeah, I've been up here before. Um, and but I got into software actually through medical software, and I find a lot of times sitting talking with inspectors how similar they are to some of the physicians I used to talk with, and how particular their workflow is, and how unique everything they do is because doctors inspecting a patient and doing that thorough check is often what can be similar to what home inspectors are doing in a home and running through the list of diagnostics and whatnot. So I started with HomeGauge
Nice.
right during the COVID lockdown, so I didn't even get to meet most of you guys in person for about a year, I think. And at this point, I'm like, I just got back from our Chicago office last week, did a in-person working session there, and yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome.
But
I relate to the whole being on a roof thing because I used to install solar panels
nice.
back in the day, and yeah, so I'm always like, oh yeah, I know what it's like to be on a roof,
Yeah,
and
I think
I don't necessarily miss it by any means.
mine were commercial roofs, so they're all flat. So I can't really
Okay.
say I'm comfortable with like the angle of it. It's like, oh, I'm good
Yeah.
with this. Nope, it was flat and nice and hot though.
Yeah,
Always hot.
I've been on some sketchy roofs, especially like the ceramic tile roofs. If there's any bit of like rain or any kind of wetness to them, it's a
Hmm.
dangerous situation. So I feel for the inspectors that get on roofs every day to do the inspection. So
For sure.
That's where drones are really helpful.
They
absolutely,
are.
1000%. Drones are, getting better and better every day with the camera systems. And so I highly recommend using a drone instead of getting up on the roof. But
I
yeah.
also like the GoPros on a stick, which I know most of our roofs don't quite get there, but at least attics and in those
Mhm.
pieces, I've seen some really good use cases there. It's like
Oh
don't try
yeah.
to slide into that attic. Just utilize something like that and pull it into the report.
Right.
Um, well, Caitlin, so that's interesting. So I was going to ask you what product does. And apparently sometimes it means you're getting on the roof with inspectors. So I know everyone would like to know like what is product and like what do you do aside from getting on roofs? Do you also do crawl spaces?
When I'm lucky, I get to do a crawl space. No, we don't actually. Been lucky enough to go on a couple ride-alongs with inspectors, but we're definitely not out in the field that often. But it's more of it represents well that product is. We're looking out there and talking to our inspectors to understand like what job they're trying to do, what are they currently trying to get done, and why. And then we translate that and start coming back in and say, okay, they have this problem. I think one of the quotes that gets thrown around in product often is people don't want a 1/4 inch drill, they want a 1/4 inch hole. It's like, our inspector will be like, I want that drill. It's like, but you really want a hole, right? Like you need that 1/4 inch hole. So how can we get them to something that they can use in that way? Because we might be able to come up with a solution that they haven't even seen, just by utilizing and like talking to some of the engineers or our design group and coming up with a solution that will work even better for them than what they were originally envisioning. So, and a lot of times people product gets lost a little bit of like, well, our web writer or a home or desktop, they are products, right? It's like, yes, it is a product, but the people working on it are really looking at it from a with that business need in mind, the engineering needs in place, and making sure we put out like the best solution that will work for the folks that we're intending it to work for, which sometimes that's, we got to get out there and talk to them and know them to know which buckets they fit in, because we know solutions typically don't work for everyone. Home inspectors in particular are very unique. Oh, am I still there? Okay, sorry, my screens just went black and whew, terrifying. I'm trying not to type, but yeah, we just understanding what they need and what's going to work for them and how do they fit in with some of the customers we're talking to on a regular basis. I think in a lot of ways what we do in the product, it reminds me, like from what I've seen of what you guys are doing on the website, of like talking to an inspector, what do they want on their site, what are they trying to say, and how are they solving, like getting that information out to their potential customers. We're doing a lot of that as well, but we just translate that into software solutions maybe, or sometimes it's an operational solution of how can we provide a service that's outside of the software that would be good for the inspectors and their customers.
Right.
Right. I mean,
Absolutely.
from what I understand, your team does a lot of empathy, trying to figure out, and I understand what you're saying because, a lot of times if someone wants something on their website, well, we need to figure out what they want to achieve because the idea they have in their mind might not be the best solution for that. So we try to get to like, what is it that you're trying to do? And it's like, in fact, what you've suggested isn't the best way to go around that, to achieve that. But we can offer you this solution, which is actually going to be better. And it's going to be better for, the visitors to your site. And also it's going to help with your SEO versus hurt it. So
Right.
it's kind of similar in how we're almost kind of like detectives getting to, the arriving at the point where we can offer, the best solution for the people that we're working with.
Exactly. I love that idea of it being that detective work, because we utilize different processes like asking the 5 whys, of just asking why over and over, which can get really annoying, or it's like we all know the answer, we know what they want, but those moments when you really get to dig into something, it's like, oh, no, you wanted something even like much earlier in the process, or sure, you all want to get paid, an inspector wants to get paid for their inspection, but how can we make that process better for you and for your
Mhm.
customer? That comes out of that conversation. So getting to do that collaboration with them is one of my favorite parts of product.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you have a great team too, and you guys are so good at it. Caitlin's very, very popular, which is why we're so honored to have her as a guest on our show today.
Yeah, and
Very popular, meaning my dad's probably watching this and
Meaning,
proud of me, and that's about it. But
right, meaning that Caitlin was like, "Oh my god, my dad's gonna be so excited when I
Mhm.
invited her to be part of this." So hi, Caitlin's dad, if you're watching.
He did make it to our last conference,
I
so
know, I
he's
met him at
just
the last.
building on his HomeGauge rep.
oh, he came to a conference.
He came.
Yeah,
He came to I. Well, he came to IGO. Yeah,
yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was quite confused about all of it. He's still trying to figure out what I do and what product is, which I think is similar to what I sent over to Carla. Is like first question, what is product?
right.
Who is product? Why is product?
Yeah, I was I
But
was I was laughing at that when I saw that. I was like,
nice.
I know, and I was like, no, it's exactly what Caitlin said.
Yeah.
Um, well, so moving on, because like it's already 1:22, and we do try to keep this to around 30 minutes, but we wanted to have you on, and also to find out a little bit more about you and about product, but also we have some updates, and I was wondering to desktop and WebWriter, and was wondering if you could fill us in a little bit more, because I think those were just released in the past couple of days.
Yeah, one within the last hour.
Oh my
So
gosh. Did
oh
they
it's
do that?
like
man.
you guys timed this perfectly, but it all did come together well. We try to get releases out on a regular basis across all of our platforms, but um, WebWriter has been a little bit more consistent because of its cloud-based like delivery system. Desktop, however, just came out with a release today, so 5.5.11. We had to roll 5.5.10 back, unfortunately, due to a minor issue that was impacting a few users. So we went and fixed that, implemented all the changes that were in 5.5.10, and then rolled out some new improvements with 5.11 or 5.5.11, which is like keyboard shortcuts for picture label editing, copy and cut and paste media between inspection items, drag and drop media files, move all the media from one inspection to another. We already got a Facebook comment from a user who's like, "This perfect. Sometimes I put it on the wrong item." So being able to move that over is just reducing those clicks, which
Yeah, I
is
saw that. I saw
super
that.
That's
important.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
But along with our desktop, we also have companion apps coming out for both iOS and Android. So those have been a little bit
Oh,
like a bigger gap between them, just as we've been testing in a open beta for a little bit. But Android and iOS both should be available in the stores today or tomorrow. Those are a slow rollout, so if anyone wants to, they can go and just opt in right away to download those
did they
improvements.
hear it here first?
They sure did.
Okay, you
I
heard it
mean,
here first.
it might have been posted elsewhere, but they heard it here first.
You heard it, like,
and
actually with your ears.
and
Right,
that's
right.
and that's five. And that's 5.5.11.
Yes,
Correct.
on desktop, the latest version is going to be 5.5.11. Android, you're looking at 5.5.09, and iOS is 6.32.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
6.3.2. There we go. But on the WebWriter side, so switching a little bit there, we definitely every 2 weeks or so we're putting out new improvements. The next big thing to talk about is making 360 images available for use on comments and a part of the home tour. So that requires that an actual 360 camera. And we talked to inspectors about it, and the folks that are currently using that functionality, they like having a separate camera for it. They like the full feel. It doesn't mean we aren't keeping in mind the panoramic options that come into play when you like using your phone. But it seems like most inspectors that we spoke to prefer the full 360 view, which I know we have recommendations on our website about cameras to use if people are interested in that. Um, they're great not only for giving home buyers or realtors a full view of the rooms or the places that are being inspected. But I know a lot of inspectors use that also for that those CYA moments of I captured this image. I mean, I went into this room and I couldn't get to that to inspect it, and here's evidence. And just
Mhm.
setting up that camera, taking a full 360, even when you're in another room doing something else, gives them that um, kind of the backup as needed.
Mhm.
And so, pretty cool. And then after that, I'm currently in development a video for WebWriter as well. So, um,
Those are really big and exciting.
Yeah,
yeah,
so a lot of new things coming
right.
coming down the pipeline. That's awesome.
Yeah, I should have talked a little less about myself and about all the new exciting things coming up, but I told you I'm just excited to talk to you guys. And I'm a Leo, so sorry, Dan.
Well, we'll just have to have you on again, Caitlin.
I mean,
Every
that
Uh,
works.
every time there's an update, you can join the game.
You better be careful what you ask for, Carla.
Caitlин's like, we're
um,
gonna need to have a big age every day.
we
Right.
so we did have one question come through, and I'm not sure if this is able to be answered on the show or not, but um, Terry has a question about the companion.
Okay.
He says, every time I record a video, it kicks me out of the companion and didn't record the video. Why is this?
Um, I
So,
I don't know. I
yeah.
can't speak to that right now. I
Yeah.
know those are good questions to come in, like on our support side of making sure you let us know which version of the companion you are on, Android versus iOS, because that functionality is different on the companion side. On WebWriter, it's not. We use it's same across Android and iOS, but um, yeah, I think without that information, unfortunately, I can't do much more troubleshooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Contact our support team and give them that information, and we can certainly check that out for you. And it might be something that they can easily answer, and
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. So definitely contact support.
Mhm.
yeah, agreed. Because if
Um,
we don't have it, that's the best way to get that information in, so we can start looking into it and solve that problem for more people. So
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, that was the only other question I saw. Um, let's see here. There was something that I was just going to mention before closing out the show. A new thing that I just recently learned.
Is this
Um,
is this Dan's hot tip?
Dan's hot tip. Yeah, I
Okay,
just have to
I think
that's
we
a
find
new
need
part of the
some
show.
music going right there.
We
A
need
little,
to have a hot tip every
Well,
episode.
here it is.
Man.
Yeah, so I just try to like mention little like things that I've recently learned, whether if it's like new Google trends or Google updates or anything related to social media. But here's the new thing that I just learned is that so I know a lot of people are still not using TikTok, but there are definitely a lot of inspectors that are starting to utilize TikTok, and we're on TikTok as HomeGauge Web Services. But so my hot tip for this episode is the TikTok character limit. So like the characters that you can use for your actual TikTok caption. The limit used to be 150 characters, but now it's 2,200, so 2,200 characters. So this gives you more of an opportunity to describe what the video is and what's happening in your videos, being able to utilize more keywords so that your videos can be searched easier within the platform. You'll notice at the top of the comment section, there's usually like a blue highlighted words with like a search icon next to it. And like, so there'll be like phrases of like, what is a home inspection or home inspection process? So utilizing those key phrases in your TikTok videos will help your videos um, more so within TikTok's algorithm and being able to have your videos show up in the search within TikTok. So that's just kind of like my thing this week that I just recently learned, and just being able to utilize different SEO techniques even for your own TikTok videos.
And so TikTok again, like, is a pretty fun channel, and it's actually gaining a lot of popularity. And there's tons of home inspectors on there. So I personally don't understand it, but Dan is doing it, and I will watch the things that he sends me, and it is fun.
Yeah, there's this. There's a lot of like how-to videos, a lot of instructional videos. You go to YouTube and learn a lot, but not everyone wants to sit down and watch a 20-minute video. And so there's a lot of home inspectors just like showcasing their process of inspecting homes on TikTok, and but it's also just a fun place as well. So
Can't
I,
those TikTok videos be reshared to Instagram as well? Because I
absolutely.
feel like that's what
Yep.
I'm more familiar with, and so now I am watching TikToks, but on Instagram. It's
Right.
like I'm a
Yeah.
week delayed, but it's okay.
Yeah, my wife jokes about it. She's like, "Yeah, I watch TikTok on Instagram like an adult."
Yep, that's mine too. I was going to drop that, but I was like, oh.
But yeah. But yeah, I mean TikTok's really fun, and it's an exciting place to learn, and the algorithm once you get on Home Inspector Talk, you're going to be on Home Inspector Talk. So you're going to see a ton of home inspectors in your feed. So the algorithm is definitely working the best for small businesses in whatever niche that you're currently in. But yeah, once we hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, we'll be able to go live on TikTok. So tell your
Nice.
friends.
Tell all
I'll
your
tell my
friends.
dad.
Tell your dad. Tell your dad to tell all of his friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
All the retired postal workers are going to go sign up right now.
I mean,
perfect.
hey, everyone's welcome.
Right.
Okay, thanks for that hot tip, Dan. Also, just because we have to say this every time, renew your domain name. If you get a message about your domain name expiring and you have a website with HomeGauge, it doesn't matter because we do not register domain names. So we cannot help you with that. You have to renew it yourself. And if you don't, your site could go down. And if it goes long enough, then someone else can snatch up your domain name and then it's not yours anymore. So always renew your domain name, please.
Please. Pretty please.
Pretty, please. um, All right, I think. Oh, Dan, Do you have any closing thoughts,
Closing thoughts.
or Caitlin, do you have any closing thoughts?
I love what you guys are doing on this. I think it's exciting. So thank
Oh,
you for doing that. That's it. That's it. My closing thoughts are for you.
well,
Oh,
my closing thoughts are thank you so much for joining us, and you are a great guest. So don't be surprised if we ask you to come back often. Pew pew, because it's been really fun.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think that's about it, right?
yeah. I'll just say this little outro if you want. Um, basically, yeah. So just basically, yeah, we're trying for anyone just joining us, or this is maybe your first episode of the Gauge. We try to do the Gauge every other Wednesday. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the new time that we're doing this at. We're going live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram when it works. And then now we're going live on Twitter, starting our
Oh
Twitter
yeah,
back up.
I forgot.
So there's a lot of different platforms, and all these episodes, the full episode is available on our YouTube channel. Just search Home Gauge, and there is a playlist called The Gauge. So subscribe to
Yeah.
all of our channels, and then you'll be the first to know about all of our different updates with the software and any kind of specials that we're doing for the month. So yeah,
And
And
if
the
you
best dad jokes there are.
the
the
best
best dad jokes. Yes.
Also, I can't remember if we mentioned this or not, but if you do have any questions for us, you can email those questions to ask@homegauge.com and we will attempt to answer them live. And yeah, that's it. So ask us questions. And if you can't, or better yet, join us and ask us questions. But if you can't join us, email us questions. Ask@homegauge.com.
Yes.
Uh,
All right.
so our next episode 13 will be coming up not next week, but the next week. And I don't know what that day is because I did not look.
The 28th. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
I think so.
It is 2 weeks from today,
Yep.
June something. That is 2 weeks from the 14th.
Follow for more.
Right. So you'll just have to stay tuned and then we'll throw the date at you. But for now, it's 2 weeks from today.
Perfect.
June
June
28th.
20 June 28th. All right.
Thanks, Connor.
All right. Well, that's pretty much a wrap on episode 12. Thank you everybody for
Thanks,
that
everyone.
joined us
Thank you.
today.
Do I get to?
And yep, do
All right. Oh, it's so hard to move this thing. Okay. All right. It's a wrap. Thanks, guys. Bye.